Today we're going to be having a look at this musical light up church. So this is a dirty musical light up church. I dug it out of one of my storage boxes. It's not been out for a long time and it's filthy. Now, these were available in the 70s and possibly early 80s. This would be something you'd find in your local market. It wasn't a name brand. I strangely enough did happen to find pictures of the boxes and packages and that they came in. This particular one didn't come boxed. This one has been modified though, because when I got it, it was a mess. The stained glass window parts were missing and I had to make more. But before we get into this one, we need an apples to apples comparison. So I bought another one to show you. Now the plastics, hold on, let me just separate it first. So give you a little quick overview. You can tell the plastics were not from the same batch. They've been made with different plastics and different molds, because this one especially is a completely different colour. So the spire comes off, and look at that, the yellowing difference. So this is obviously a different type of plastic or different grade of plastic, and it doesn't match the rest of it. But there's the spire. You will notice there is move that out of the way. There's something broken on the top of that, and it's the same for the other one. These originally had a cross on top, as you saw in the other pictures. So that's missing. I'm not too bothered about that missing or replacing it. It's like somebody mentioned one of the angels that I showed in one of the previous videos a few weeks ago had the wand missing. Small delicate items like that will obviously snap off. And with this thing being so tall and being difficult to store, it must have been a common thing for the old cross to snap off. So there's the spire. Around the back, you can see there's your power on and off switch for the light. There's your wind up mechanism. The shell does come apart. It's got two bolts that screw in from the front, so you can split it. There's the mechanism. It plays Silent Night. Here's what that sounds like. I'll also do a bonus video, which will come out tomorrow, which is just this being wound up and left to run down. That is a special request from one of my viewers. They are blind and they wanted to know if I had any more musical Christmas lights because they like to hear them. This is the closest thing I've got, so that's for you, my friend. Musical church, just for you. Dug this out on request and it's all for you. So on the inside you can see that the stained glass windows are just transparent plastic, coloured plastic. Camera focus, and they're held in by these little, they've got holes in them and are held in by little blobs of plastic weld. You can see this one is trying to make a bid for freedom, just in there, it's all curled up. But that's what was originally in my first one, supposedly. I think all but one were missing, so all the stained glass windows were missing. Now to light it up, you've got the base. On this second one that I bought, the bulb holder was missing. I wasn't too bothered about that. It takes a SES screw fit. I think it's an E10, the same as olive cone light or an old style torch. You can see it needs a little bit of work. It needs to be soldered back on. It's come off its terminal. I'm not too bothered about that. Battery cover's also missing. It used to be held in place with this little tab. Again, not too bothered about that. It takes 2 C-cell batteries. It actually shows you on here which way round they go. So 2 C-cell batteries, 1.5 volts each for a total of 3 volts. And I was going to get batteries and a bulb to try and get it going, but I didn't really see much point because the average life on these years ago, the battery didn't even last a night. They used to run down quite quick, so they're just right for an LED upgrade. Now, I will get to work on this one and try and restore it to as factory condition as possible, so possibly get another bulb, maybe an LED one, and put an adapter on it or a rechargeable battery. You can get rechargeable little units to sit on the inside, so it'll be just as good as when it was new, but upgraded. So we'll go to the modified one now. So the modified one, modified this maybe over 15 years ago, because I know I got it off eBay when eBay first started being a thing, and it was something I was after because a family member had one, and when their light broke, they put a tea light candle in it and it melted the whole top. The spire caved in and the top of it melted. So, you know, it is what it is. And I tried to get them replacements, got it, they weren't interested, so I kept it for myself and modified it. So this one, the battery cover is somewhere in the house. This one's still got all its cables in place, and again, this one also snapped in the same place as the other one. It came off the bulb holder. There's the bulb holder, and it should be soldered onto the edge there. This is just a 12 volt bulb from a car that I added cables to with a random old 12 volt adapter. I have no idea what this is off. I've had it for years. It weighs an absolute ton, but it runs off 12 volts. It's easy to plug in and it works. So that was just my way of making it work as it should and last a bit longer. As I mentioned earlier, this one, the stained glass windows were missing, so I needed to put replacement stained glass windows in. Oh, this one also still has its cover which sits on the back, which is missing from the other one. Don't want to break it. So there's the inspection cover. Now let's see if this works. Now the plastic on the front of the windows, I can't remember where I found it, but I found this pattern textured plastic which I thought would be good to diffuse the windows so you couldn't see directly in. Because on this one you can't see in either, it's completely obscured, and I wanted a similar effect. So I found this plastic, and then I used a die cutter to cut out gel film from stage lights and cut out these patterns. So I've got all these different colours: yellow, red, purple, blue, green. That one is a flower that I cut out twice, one with red, one with green, and I literally just cut off every other petal from each one and just layered them to give this little effect. And then the top window is just a mixture. I will turn this back on and demonstrate. So the original one, this is the original church, if I can get it in. A little bit of a battle. So that's pretty much how it should light up from new. It'd have a little torch bulb in it, about the same brightness, and you get the whole church would light up an opaque colour, and then you get the colours coming through from the bulb. And that's it in the dark. You can see it's got some great refraction coming out the windows. Look at that. Brilliant. So this is what they should look like from new. And this is my modified version, which has all the different colours on. Again, this was done a long time ago. I'd probably do it a little bit differently now, but it did the job at the time because I had no idea how to do it, and I've came up with the opaque plastic and little die cut patterns, little flowers. Again, I could do it again, but I like it. Brings back memories. So there's a maker's mark on it that I didn't notice before. You can see that. OVERSEA, Hong Kong, T1013. I hope that comes out on camera because it's so hard to read. But yeah, that's who makes it by the look of it. So anybody who likes to go on deep dives and look on, do research on things like this, that's what it is. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you're interested in listening to the full wind down of this church, be sure to check it out tomorrow. Otherwise it'll be linked up here if you're watching this video after the fact. And I'll catch you on the next one.